How you feeling from the protest yesterday?
Oh, I'm feeling good. I had a
Uh,
good time yesterday.
I'm still exhausted.
Well, yeah, I slept most of the day, but and I think I went to bed at like 8 o'clock last night.
So we have a guest, and what I've been doing is I've been pilfering from Pete Dominic, his guests. Don't
Yeah.
don't 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 tell Pete. Um, but we have Maura Quint on. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thanks for having me on. I won't tell Pete. Is your secret safe with me?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't respond to my emails, so you know.
I, I don't share anything with him. He doesn't know me.
All right. So you're in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, I'm in central Pennsylvania.
So how was your No Kings protest yesterday?
It was really, really great. I'm in a red district here in Pennsylvania. So, and a fun fact about Pennsylvania, I haven't done my independent research on this. I've just been told this, and I'm just accepting it at face value. But Pennsylvania has it's one of these states with the most number of hate groups registered per
Really?
capita.
Really?
Yeah. Um,
I would have never guessed that.
yeah, we're right there, like right, right, like north enough that a lot of people have access to us, and there's especially where I am, we have a lot of like highways, a lot of through roads to other places, but we are still very, very close to a lot of old racist southern ideology that kind of still persists. So, yeah, and in past events, we have definitely seen some of these groups come out. So I was pretty braced yesterday, given how much Trump had talked about these rallies and how demonized they were. I was pretty worried. And it was the most peaceful, like joyful, even wonderful event. I was really, really overwhelmed by how great it went. So it was really nice.
How
How
many
about you all?
how many people showed up at yours? Do you know?
The count is, I think, 3,700
They said,
is
wow.
Ooh, that's
yeah,
really good.
We had
yeah.
we had about 300. We had two different ones. We had the one that's led by the local Democrats here in Mojave County, and there's about 300 at that one. And Kingman, that's amazing.
Yeah, we are in Paul Gosar's district.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
So that is actually really good for our area.
Yeah, and we
That's
had
great.
we started
We're,
we started a second one because the Mojave County Democrats tend to want you to keep it to peace and love. When they yell at you, respond back with love. And if you don't know Snow, but Snow is not built like that. If someone's going to tell her to f you, you know.
Snow is a teamster, so yeah, Snow, yeah,
when they go low, we kick them in the face. I get it.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
We came up with Snow. Full credit to Snow. She came up with the best response. When they would flip us off or say anything, the chant would just be USA, and
USA,
that neutered.
USA.
Yeah,
Boy, that still pissed them off, though. They got even more mad and they were trying to shout over us like, Trump, Trump. And I'm like, or they do thumbs down, and I'm like, who's the one who hates America? Obviously, it's y'all. Because, I'm sitting here chanting the country's name, and you guys are like doing boo and everything to it. Like, you guys are the real America haters.
yeah.
I love that. I love anything that really kind of like it takes their stuff and kind of throws it back at them, or otherwise just ruins it for them. We have a lot of people who come around with like the cameras trying to get clips, trying to get their little viral moment that they can push out on right-wing media, which is also why like the clown music, sometimes I've seen people, just follow them around with the clown music. That's great. Like that ruins their clips. It absolutely makes what they're trying to do look as absurd as it is. And I love that. Those are my favorite types of protest.
Did you
Things that fun
Yeah.
and background.
did you have all the blow up animals at yours?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
we had a lot of people doing
I
that.
mean, kudos to Portland that coming up with that, and that totally diffuses anything that they say because we're just being silly out there.
Absolutely. And it was mostly I noticed it was both, like kind of some younger people, but there were so many uh much older people in those suits. I'm sure and they looked so happy to be wearing them. They were just having so much fun. And that was fantastic. And we did a little march from ours. So uh we did like a little loop march. And so they were all going around in their costumes, walking down the street with their signs. It was fantastic. There was one woman who I have no idea how old she was, but from the distance she looked to be older, very like nice put together lady in like a flowered dress, and she had a sign. She stood on the side of the road that said, "Honk if you want to see boobs." They'd honk, and she would open it up, and it was, a picture of like Trump and Stephen Miller.
That's
great.
awesome.
Yeah, there were a lot of people definitely having fun with it, which, I think was so important because I know there was a lot of fear going into it. Like a lot of people were very afraid to come out to this one. There was a lot of like worry about what the right was going to do. So seeing people like take that and just be like, no, we're going to come out and we're going to be silly was wonderful.
Yeah, that's kind of how we felt too. We're like, we're gonna have fun with this,
Yeah, and even though we live in Paul Gosar's district, we were kind of overwhelmed by the positive responses by the passerbys. It was probably 95% positive responses to us,
that's great.
which being from Kingman, and Kingman, Trump won by like 80%, something like that. And to see that, you start to wonder, is the tide turning? Are they just going, hey, we're getting sick of this too?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because there's a difference between a MAGA and just a normal conservative.
Well, some of them might have got the letters too, the letters about their health insurance going up.
Yeah.
If the subsidy goes away.
I think people are definitely starting to get hit. And there's also been, in Pennsylvania, certainly letters have gone out and things have been posted about people who may not receive SNAP benefits as well with the shutdown. And I think that's really, really starting to hit people. But I definitely noticed, nationwide, this was one of the largest days of protest, certainly in our recent history. You have tons and tons of people out. You have the president and his administration calling this a terrorist, an act of terrorism, and like demonizing it. And you did not see his followers coming out in big droves, and you did not see people readily taking up violence or trying to create clashing. And I feel like even a few years ago, we were seeing that. Like we were absolutely seeing more of a presence of the hardcore MAGA right. And so it did feel to me like I think that there is demonstrably just less support even among his own ranks at this point. And that's hopeful.
Yeah.
That's really hopeful.
Yeah, that's good news.
Here in Kingman, we usually have like a handful of counter protesters, but there was only one kid saying "Thank you, Charlie Kirk," and that's the only. And he was being nice.
Charlie Kirk sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever. As long as they're peaceful, who cares?
Right. Absolutely. And I think the crowd largely just kind of ignored him, which was exactly, I think, the right thing to do. So
yeah,
it was, it was a very inspiring day for me, which was good because it's hard to find inspiration a lot of times these days.
Yeah. I was telling my group that we started about that. And I was just like, it was almost like it was therapy. Number one, therapy, because everything feels so hopeless. And number two, it brought back a sense of community among everybody, which you kind of gets lost in the news and everything else. You look at the news every day like, oh shit, what did he do today? Oh fuck. But then when you get a group of 300 people all with a common cause, or 40 at the other one, and then we had like a potluck table, and we were collecting canned goods, because we know
Yeah.
with SNAP benefits getting cut, people in this region are especially going to get hard hit. So
Yeah.
we tried to, make it as positive as we could.
And are they being donated to the food bank?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the local food bank.
Cool.
So,
No, I love that. I think it's the most important time that I have seen for us to be really, really engaging in mutual aid networks. It just feels so vital right now. Because, I mean, as you said, you look at the news, you go online, it looks really hopeless. It looks like there's just this huge, insurmountable obstacle. But when we come together, you realize that there's so much in community, and we really do have to take care of each other. And what's more, I think we want to take care of each other. Like there's so much need, but there's also so much desire to help one another that is really important to nurture. And it's nice to see.
yeah, and then you do realize that even though people have a loud voice online, that over the course of 4 hours of our protesting, that you maybe had a dozen people, that were flipping you off, and they would always wait till the light turned green before they would flip you off.
I know. They were such chickens. Like they'd be sitting there the whole time staring. Probably sitting there, I know what I'm going to do when the light turns green. I know what I'm going to do. And then, yeah, they'd take off. And like, it was even like halfway through their turn, they'd finally say something or flip the bird or do the thumb. And I'm like, oh my God.
But it was funny that you're sitting there, you're watching them because you can see it in their eyes, like they're just fuming on it.
Well, I already started chanting USA to those people too, because I'm like, I can see it on their face. And hey, it's good to chant USA anyways. So
Yeah. And Snow here is wearing this shirt and she's jumping up and down, so it kind of makes it really, distracting.
Amazing. I love it. That's great. I'm definitely going to share that with people. That's a fantastic response.
Yeah. Did you see Trump's video he posted last night though afterwards?
Oh yeah, of course.
On the official
talk
White House
about being
page.
afraid, like hiding behind AI and like pretend being some sort of vile hotshot of a sort, like troll.
Yeah.
But doing it all from he's not doing any of it. He's just terrified. Obviously, he's so scared he's pooping his pants. So yeah.
Yeah, literally. Then in San Diego, they were doing this military exercise where they were shooting missiles from, the ocean into Camp Pendleton over I-5.
So they decided to go through with that?
They did do that. Now, they were going to shut down I-5 and then decide not to, but then they did it anyway, so they're shooting missiles over a highway while people are, something could happen really bad. And I think they eventually closed part of it.
It's probably what they were hoping, though. They were probably hoping that something bad would happen. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Honestly.
No, I agree that they're anxious to have horrible things happen right now. They would love it.
Yeah,
which is awful.
Yeah, they're gross. I mean, they're gross people, gross humans.
I was kind of really surprised that like an agitator didn't show up at one of these and, dressed up like an animal head on or something and then cause trouble. And that would give, Trump a reason to do what he wants to do.
I really thought we were going to see that. I really, really did. I was shocked that we didn't. And again, I take that as a really fantastic sign because there are, we know there are still a lot of people who really idolize him in this really pathetic way. And so the fact that you were not seeing them take action on a day like yesterday is really notable. I mean, it's awful to be like, what a great sign that there wasn't horrible, tragic violence started by, a crazy person. But at the same time, it's a pretty great sign.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the big news of the week, Israel and Palestine, the peace plan. Do you give Trump any credit for that at all?
No, Daryl. He gets credit for the genocide and the war. He can have a little slice of that credit because he's certainly been more than happy to fuel it. No, he's done nothing here. And to that matter, I don't even see this lasting, unfortunately. Netanyahu and Trump have a very close friendship, and Netanyahu will do what he wants with his government in the same way that Trump will. And they both enjoy their authoritarianism, and they are both exercising it mutually. But no, Trump has no credit because he doesn't. I don't even think it's something he wants. I don't think he wants peace. I don't think he cares.
Well, he only cares about the Peace Prize. That's
He
the
wants
only
a
reason.
prize. He wants recognition, but that's it.
He wants the trophy. And aren't those the folks that are against like the participation trophies and all that? That always, like always cried about.
Well, yeah,
These people just want a trophy. They just want a participation trophy.
I know.
Blah, blah.
Well, I mean, maybe that would be good for the people that do the Nobel Peace Prize. Just give them like a participation trophy.
A pretend one,
Yeah,
just so, but everybody else knows it's fake.
yeah.
I guess.
We should just give him a pretend country. I mean, if we had set up a TV
Right.
somewhere and we told him he was in charge of things, and then just hired a bunch of guys to play actors and yes sir him all the time, I think we could just lock him in a room somewhere. I don't think he'd notice, as long as he had a TV and some cheeseburgers.
I got an idea. How about Florida?
Yeah, we're willing to give up Florida.
The whole state, just
Yeah.
sacrifice it off.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get a lot of people out of there first.
Yeah,
and then
yeah, we're gonna get the good
then,
people
then
out.
we
Yeah.
evacuated a large section of the population. Sure, that's
Yeah,
fine.
Get all the good people out. Let all the others that are totally in
Anybody
love with
wants to.
him.
Anybody
Yeah,
who wants to go to Florida at this point in time,
can move there. Yeah,
right.
they can go. And anybody
Yes.
who wants out of Florida but is stuck there right now,
and they can even name it like the Confederacy if they would like to, since they still love to fly that flag.
I think you call it Horda. They'd think that was hilarious. I think that was
How in our area we really haven't noticed any effects of the shutdown because we don't have a lot of federal workers here. Are you having? Are you seeing that in your area? Any issues yet?
Well, so and I go into DC a lot as well because I'm only about 2 hours outside of DC, and I was in DC on the eve of the shutdown, and I was talking to a lot of federal workers, and so I mean, I've seen a lot of that, but fundamentally, Musk and Trump fired so much of the federal workforce that you have so many people who are already out of work, who are already facing a lot of uncertainty about their jobs, if they had anything at this point, is just not affecting the world, our country, in the same way that previous shutdowns did. And that is not to say that some people are not heavily affected. I definitely do know people who are very worried right now, and do not really know what they're going to do if this drags on, which it is likely to. But it is a much smaller sector and segment than it would have been in previous years. But they've done such a good job decimating the government at this point that fewer people are affected.
Yeah, sad.
Is your representative Scott Perry?
That's the one.
All
That's
right.
the guy.
Can we do a competition? Who's got the worst representative? I think we'd win that one. What's Scott's messaging on this? Is he buying the Schumer shutdown aspect of it?
Oh, he doesn't speak. I don't know. He doesn't show up. He does not speak to us at all. There's huge groups that have tried to contact him. There are groups that protest him every week. They're outside his office that try to do office visits. He has nothing to say about any of this. The only thing we know is that he's Trump's guy. He's all in for Trump. That's it. Otherwise, he does not speak to his constituents. He does not exist in our district. I don't think he set foot in this district in a very long time.
So is your area basically kind of like our area, like the GOSAR area or the MTG area? Because I think that each state probably has an area like that. That's is it extreme there?
So it's really tricky. So Pennsylvania is a weird state. I mean, probably similar because you all have, the cities as well. But we have it really geographically divided with Philly on the east and Pittsburgh in the west. And in between, it is so sparsely populated. You have little cemeteries here and there and lots of forest. And I mean, the big joke about Pennsylvania is you have Philly and you have Pittsburgh, and in between you have Kentucky or,
Okay.
it's like very rural throughout here. But where I am, Harrisburg, center of the state, South Central, I suppose, there's a bit more purpleness to this
Okay.
area right around here. But yeah, but we still have Scott Perry, so I mean, we can't be too purple. It's pretty tricky. And then if you go just a little bit out, it gets even more red. So bizarrely, Scott Perry is not representing the reddest districts.
Oh, okay. So there's even redder
Yeah,
than.
he is an extremist, certainly, but he's kind of squeaking by a little bit. It is, in fact, possible that we could potentially flip his seat this next cycle, but the surrounding districts are very solidly red, and those will be intensely difficult to flip. And they have their crazies too, just ones who have not quite made quite the same name for themselves that Scott Perry has. He really, with the J6 stuff, he really excelled.
Oh, okay.
Is there any talk in Pennsylvania about redistricting?
Not right now. We've done it a lot. We've been through that cycle a lot. So I don't see that happening at this moment. I've been somewhat involved in like the fair districts fight here as well. It's tricky. We just had some redistricting recently, but it did not favor us. So
Do you think that your governor will end up running for president? Shapiro?
I don't know. I'm not hearing a ton of like chatter about it. I know that he's been like on the list of potentials, but I will say in and around here, when I talk to people who are more involved in the electoral process within the state of Pennsylvania, it's certainly in no way a done deal. If it's a conversation, it's happening very quietly between a few people. It does not have a lot of momentum here right now.
Oh, okay.
Is he popular in your area?
Mixed bag. He's not unpopular. He's not beloved either. I think there's generally a feeling of like, we're happy that we have a blue governor.
Okay.
He's okay. There's some stuff that he's done that, is not loved, but he's fine. He's fine. Like, he's also not hated. It's a very, like, I think everybody's very, people are feeling very, very nervous about trusting any politicians right now. And I think so many people felt so burned by Fetterman that there's even less trust.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? I mean, because we were Fetterman fans before.
Yeah.
I was never a huge Fetterman fan. I always saw him as being to the right of me. But, I will say, it really seems like he really suffered some. He suffered a lot with his the medical things he's been through,
The stroke.
and I think they have affected him greatly.
Mm-hmm.
And the sort of chatter that I've heard is that he is not the same person that he was when he ran for this office. And in some ways he may be, but like a lot internally seems to have shifted, and it does seem to be directly tied to the health issues he's had. So
That's exactly what I thought it was. I thought it was because I've personally known someone that pretty much happened to too when they had a stroke. They started becoming a Trump supporter. I mean, like big time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really upsetting, and I just heard from I've heard indirectly about some of the people around him and work for him and stuff that there's just a lot of frustration because they do not, I think, know who's going to show up each day. And it's awful. I mean, he really should not be holding the seat.
Yeah.
I wish we could get him out. I think it's, I've unfortunately seen this happen a bit too much, especially on the Democratic side, where someone who is obviously just physically unwell and should not be holding the stress of public office is still in that position. and there doesn't seem to be good mechanisms to remove them. And it is very frustrating that there's not a support system around them that is encouraging them to focus on their own health and their own well-being, and instead allowing them to kind of hold on to these seats. It's really, it makes me quite sad. It's really upsetting to see.
Well, and then if they have health issues and they're holding on to these seats, maybe they're doing it because they have good health care.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a really good point.
I mean, which is sad for the rest of us, though, because it's like, we actually need good people in there representing us, like that aren't going through, whatever issues they're going through. But I mean, I guess I can kind of see their point,
Yeah.
but
Well, Paul Gosar
it's scary.
clearly isn't well.
Right. But hasn't he been in there long enough to where he pretty much gets permanent insurance now? Like,
You would think.
Because
Don't they
isn't
all?
it kind of like that? Like where it's, I heard that it was something like, because I had thought before, I originally had thought that it was like, even if they serve one term, they get like stuff for the rest of their life. But I think it's kind of like a company, though. They have to get invested after so many years or something to get the full advantage. I'm not
sure how it works.
I'm not totally sure, but I thought I had heard,
What's your level of frustration with the Democratic Party overall?
Very high.
Mutual.
Very, very high. What's our scale go to? Does it go to 10? We're at a 100.
We could probably do Spinal Tap, Like,
Yeah, absolutely. This one goes to 11. We passed 11. On a scale of 1 to 2, this one goes to 11. Yeah, I'm quite frustrated. I mean, obviously you have some people who are in office for the right reason, who are really doing the best that they can, but they are not supported as a whole. I think that we just have had really weak leadership, and we've just had for a really long time now people who are run by polling and advisors and donors.
Mhm.
And we need people in an office who are run by belief and care and real concern. And I've been really frustrated to see, because I think there are even some people who really, they do care. They're in office, like they went into public service for the right reasons, but they just have been so kind of overwhelmed by the like pundit consultant class that is telling them, say these words, don't say these words, do it this way, embrace this topic, don't, lean away from this one, as opposed to letting them really speak from their hearts and like do what they believe is right. I think it's awful to see. I mean, I get really frustrated in general. I think our electoral system is really quite broken, and the skill set that you need to run for and win elected office and the skill set that you need to hold and be effective in elected office are completely separate and different. And we end up with a lot of people who are really good at running for office, not people who are good leaders.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, very frustrated.
Did you see the Bernie AOC town hall the other day?
I didn't. No.
Again, it was good, but of course, like the establishment Democrats kind of were not on board with what they were saying, and much like Mondami too.
I mean, at this point, to not be on board with an AOC, a Bernie, a Mamdani, these like wildly popular progressive figures who have tremendous public support is insane to me. Like, it's even if all you're trying to do is read the tea leaves, it's wild to me to not follow where there is popular support, which is really where they are. I mean, the centrists of the party, they hold no one. They do not have a group of people who are excited for them. They have a couple big donors, and unfortunately that has had a lot more influence on the party than the wild popular support that some of the stars have. But, yeah.
Well, I mean, we were big Bernie supporters in 2016, and
I'm still a Bernie supporter.
Well, of
I'll
course,
always
of
be a
course.
Bernie supporter. I mean, I I voted for Hillary in the end, but I mean, I'm not a Bernie bro, but I'm always gonna love
I don't
Bernie.
know anyone. I mean, I really do. I knew one person who's a terrible person, but other than that, everyone else I know who was, especially, I don't know anyone who campaigned for or did work for Bernie or volunteered who did not vote for Hillary. Like everyone I know
No.
who cared, really cared. And so, like, yes, you're going to do everything you can to be as progressive as possible. And in the end, if that's going to be a Hillary Clinton type, then you're still going to go with that because it's still the more progressive option than, Trump. Like you still recognize that we're facing real imminent threat. So yeah, everyone I know that was a Bernie supporter.
Yeah, especially when Bernie is the one that said you need to support Hillary now. So I'm like, if you really liked Bernie and liked his message, then you would have listened to him all the way, Like, that's how I kind of felt about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thrilled about anybody since Obama,
Yeah.
so, but it was just like, okay, well, this is the option. It would be anyone but Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. And I do think as well, that's another frustration I have with the Democratic Party. The Dems have really not put any real effort into building up a base and building up new talent, for lack of a better word. But the right has done that really effectively. They've really invested in bringing people up and making sure that people are given platforms and are given increased visibility. And the left has not been that way. Dems in particular, I mean, Dems have been kind of the opposite, this old guard holding on really tight and not letting anyone else in, not giving space to bring new people in and bring new people up. And it's a real failing. And it's one of the reasons we do not have electrifying figures right now. Nobody is invested in any.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have that problem even with our local Dems, like we were talking about the protests. We had to create another protest just because we didn't want to sign up for their rules or be told, don't say that. And
yeah, they were making people sign a paper and agreeing to rules that they had set.
Wow.
And they would have to agree to the sign too. Oh, we don't think that sign's appropriate. We've made some for you. And we're like, no.
Mm.
Now, that does seem to run counter to the grassroots spirit of these mobilizations. Absolutely.
Yeah.
These are not to be run by an establishment of any sort.
Yeah. And to the Constitution. I mean, we have the freedom of speech.
Yeah.
I'm like, whether they like it or not. Like,
we would have this one guy that would show up and counter protest, and he was a black man, but he was very frustrated with the Democratic Party. And that's why he took on a more conservative. And I was interviewing off to the side, getting a sound clip for the podcast. And one of the Democratic ladies comes up to me and goes, turn that off. I'm like, what? Both of us are like, what? And like, I'm not turning this off. And I was like, you're proving this man's point. Why he got turned off by this party. So.
That's very weird. It's unfortunate because the local Democratic groups, I mean, you guys probably see this, but I've seen it a lot at the sort of county and district level that, the Democrats are also not investing in local and county party leadership in places that they have written off as unwinnable. And so you really just end up having kind of the loudest and people who want to have little fiefdoms kind of taking over some of these sectors of the Democratic Party, especially in red districts. And they kind of run it however they want. And they're not given a lot of resources and they're not really given a lot of guidance. And you end up with some really off-putting places and some people who should not be in charge of things.
Yeah. And at the state level, in Arizona, the people running for Senate didn't necessarily want to invest any time coming here, much like you're saying, on it. I think Mark Kelly came in, dropped in for a half hour or something like that on the last one, but that was it as far as that.
Yeah, he came to the college and spoke.
Yeah. And Ruben came here once too
Yeah,
on it, but it's not like
but they at least came here.
they
Kirsten Cinema refused to show up
well,
when she was running.
that's another one.
That seems unsurprising now. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally not surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George Santos, did you hear that news?
I saw something out of the corner of my eye and I kind of ignored it.
Yeah. I mean, that was a totally not a surprise what happened there, just hey, get out of jail, go about your way, go back to whatever you're doing. Making cameos for $2,000 a piece, whatever he was doing.
Right, that sounds right.
But I think, like we said, we said this in the beginning, that these protests bring back a sense of community. And the reason why I asked you on was because I was listening to Pete's podcast, Stand Up with Pete, and you were on, and you had a wonderful idea, and you want to give us your thoughts on that.
Sure. Well, so I mean, I work in national political organizing, and that is obviously pretty frustrating these days. And so when Trump won this last election, which was not as long ago as it feels like it was a million years ago, and we've just been in this forever, but still only months ago, I felt really, really hopeless. And so I was trying to figure out what I could do to kind of hold on to any sense of hope. And it really was that I felt the answer was going to be in communities, in our community, and in building community with one another. I really believed that was where we were going to need to put our focus, because one way or another, we're all going to need to support each other. And I think we're seeing that a lot, especially with the sort of ICE raids that we're seeing, and now with the government shutdown, the way that's going to be affecting people. We all have to show up for each other as much as we can. But I know that for myself, I struggle very much to ask for help or to reach out to people. I have this sense of I should be able to do everything myself. And I figured if I felt that way, probably a lot of people have that internalized belief that, asking for help is something you're burdening others if you do that, and you should not do that. So to try and kind of overcome that, we held a favor dinner, for lack of a better title for this. But I got together this group that I had been kind of organizing of these women, and asked everyone to invite some people that they knew in the community. And we did it as a potluck and just said, bring a dish. But the sort of hook for the dinner is that when you come, you have to sign up. You have to ask for help. You have to ask for something. And we had it anonymous, so everybody put their thing, and it was things like, can you bring my family dinner while I'm out of town? Can you give me a ride to the airport? Can you, walk my dog in the middle of the day occasionally when I'm gone all day? Or one person just wanted help putting up pictures on her wall because she just feels like she can't hang pictures right, and she's had stress and hasn't been able to do it. And so it was just very small sort of things that that people can kind of help out with. One person wanted to know if anyone could teach them how to sew or help with doing some yard work or things like that. And so we had them all on a list, and then as you were leaving, you had to look at the list, and then you could sign up for one that you would help with. And then I connected everyone so that everybody owed somebody a favor and had to do that thing for them. And it was just an attempt to build community by forcing us to ask for help from one another. And especially to ask for help from people that are not in our close inner circle, that we might not feel as comfortable asking for help. And it sort of, the idea came to me, and I'm sure I'm not the first to have done this, but when the idea came to me, it was from this little story I'd often heard of a mother telling her son that he needed to go next door and ask the neighbors for a couple tablespoons of salt. And the little boy was annoyed. He didn't want to go. And he's like, we have salt. Why are you making me do this? She's like, just go ask them. And so he went over and he came back with some salt. And he was like, why did you make me do this? And she said, well, I know that they are going through a really hard time and they are going to need help. So I wanted to ask them for help so that they would feel comfortable coming when they need help from us. Which is, I think, it was like always a very powerful story to me and very meaningful. Because I think it does make a big difference when you know that someone is willing to come to you and ask for help, then it opens up that door and you can then go to them and say, you know what, actually, I need something. And would you be willing to help me with this? So, yeah, so we did this dinner and I think it went really well. It was really nice. And there were a bunch of people in my house that I'd never met before, which was fantastic. And, just doing whatever steps we can to try and like build those bonds of community so that we know we have people to go to when we need them.
How many people showed up for this?
We had about 30 people, I'd say.
Okay.
That's cool. I really like that idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've floated that idea to a few people here in Kingman, and I think we're going to do it at some point.
Cool.
Oh, I
That'd be
love that.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And full credit to you. That's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
And when I was listening to, I think I was having a bad day. I think that was right around all the Charlie Kirk stuff, and being in Arizona, it was just overwhelming the support you would see for Charlie Kirk. Like, why he's just not a good guy. I mean, not what happened to him should have happened, but it felt overwhelming to me, like how he was being praised as a second coming. And then I was listening to that podcast. I heard your idea, and I'm like, that is brilliant, and it made my day. That story.
Good. That makes me really happy. I was, I will say I was pretty nervous doing it because it also felt kind of cheesy or like, sometimes it's hard to take like a step into something a little bit unknown, but the response that we got was really incredibly positive, and it was really nice too because it was just ended up doing it on a very beautiful day, and some people brought their kids and stuff, and in fact I have a 7th grader, and someone who was kind of new to the community came with their 7th grader who was very shy and very nervous, and the kids that were there got to know this new girl and brought her in, she had somewhere to sit at lunch. So even on that level, I was just like, oh, this is really, this matters, this is meaningful. And we don't do it enough. We don't kind of have enough spaces to force those connections and to forge those connections. So it was, yeah, I would recommend it to anybody. I think it went really well. So.
Well, I mean, that's the only way we're
Please
going
do
to...
it and let me know how it goes.
Okay, we will.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way we're going to get through these next 3 years. Or
Yeah.
is it 3?
Yeah. I think it's still 3 to go.
It has only been a year since...
It seems like it's been 20, but yes, I think we still have 3 to go.
Oh my God.
That is hard to fathom, but yeah, we can do it.
My hair was the color of yours when the last year started.
I believe you.
Well, thank you for joining us on it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
we
thank
really
you. It was
appreciate
so
you.
nice to talk to you.
Yeah.
It was great to talk with you as well. Like I said, let me know if you do that, and thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, we'll
This was wonderful.
definitely keep you updated. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, y'all.
Bye.